Who am I here with today?
You're here with Lope, aka Lil Lope, aka Lil LL, but we cool on the J. You can pass me one, bro.
I think there's one thing that needs to be understood from the get-go. There's one thing about Lope, man. He's always gonna make his own decision.
Pretty sad. Anyway.
Alright, Lope, what made you fall in love with music in the first place, as far as artists, songs, and even moments in your life?
So I always feel like me and music have had, well, I should say me and other artists have had like unspoken connections where relatability and just like, I feel like they can almost pull the words from my mouth sometimes of how I'm feeling. They can describe a situation or how I'm feeling better than I can sometimes. And not only that, I'm jamming to the song like they ain't saying some real stuff. But I feel like I've always loved music. It's always been an escape for me. I do almost everything with music playing. I've even, for a long period of time, I was going to sleep listening to music. Now that I make music, not so much. I try to cut down on how much I'm listening to, just so I could be keep a uniqueness and have my own thought patterns when it comes to it. But for sure, I used to everything.
Do you have any favorite songs, as far, not necessarily a new song that you've been listening to? I'm talking about songs that just remind you of something, like your whole life you've had, this has been your favorite song or something like that.
Ooh, my whole life a favorite song?
Like for me, it would be Marvin's Room because I have to go through a lot of heartbreak. I'm just kidding. But something like that.
I understand. Man, for me, like when it comes to music, it's pieces of art, and it's really hard to choose a favorite, my own and other people's. I feel like every song it's like an art piece. Shout out to my boy Q right here, real quick, with the art coming through. Dr. Alex on Instagram. But going back to that, I feel like it's hard to compare like pieces and choose a favorite when they're all have a different moment and a distinct period of time. So I would say I really don't have a favorite. It's always constantly changing, but like I definitely have like a lot of songs you could put on and I rap word for word or go with.
Would you say like it kind of correlates with your mood?
Yeah, I would say it correlates with my mood, because there's sometimes I'm in the lows and like I'm listening to totally different artists that, like, you know, they might not even meet this other person or get along with that other person, like, you know, I like, again, like I'm into all different types of perspectives. I'm always on growing and seeing other people's way of thinking and seeing things, and you know, different artists can hit you at a different time in your life period. You might not like someone at this point in time, but then you experience something and then magically this song reappears and you're like, yo, I never even knew.
What made you want to become a rapper in the first place, and did anyone in particular inspire you, any artist or anyone in your life?
Okay, so yeah, sure. I'm just gonna keep it down to two main things, because trust me, I go all day with this. But I've never thought that I would actually become an artist. I never thought that music is what I was gonna pursue in life, nor that I really know specifically anything other than like football. But I went to, this is number one. I went to a Russ concert, I say maybe 2019, 2018-ish. It was I See You 2 part tour. But I saw Russ in concert, and I was going to concerts a lot of time. I'm a big hip hop fan. I was going to a lot of concerts around this time, and
My bad. I'm gonna be stretching doing yoga shit. Go ahead, keep going. My back is sore, bro.
Okay, anyways. So yes, I See You 2 part tour. Russ goes on this little tangent that he might do at like a lot of his concerts, all his concerts. But long story short, he basically said that like he's been at this for a very, very long time, 10 plus years, and he didn't see a lot of progress a lot of those years. But he was basically on the verge of like, if you're not willing to suck at something for 10 years in order to see it out, then you just don't want it that bad, and you need to start lying to you need to stop lying to yourself. And so I really took that on. I didn't know exactly what I was gonna do yet, but I knew I needed to figure it out and go ahead and do it. Now, I thought I was gonna do fashion, but it ended up not going that way. it's still in the plans, but I feel like taking the artistry position first would be a better outcome for me. So that's what I decided to do. But long story short, I was probably always gonna do music, but it came faster because I saw that in that moment of time. And this dude. Anyways, so yeah, I really took that on, and so I started digging deep into the Russ at that point, and I basically studied all his things. And he said, you need to get your own setup, which I have right here. You see, dedicate 10 grand. I know it's hard, but trust me, you grind it, you can get it. I promise. So yeah, I went and did that, and at first my music wasn't sounding like how I wanted to sound, but I kept going. Now the second time, or the second significant, is I have a friend that I went to school with. His name is Solomon, but goes by Saint Angelo. Used to go by Kid Sway, but Saint Angelo now. So he was making music, and I really really fell in love with his music. And I got to listen to a lot of stuff a lot of people haven't, and so I might be a deeper fan than y'all. But the fact that I had someone doing what I low-key had the urge to do in the bottom of, like in the back of my mind and like in my heart, like I really like, he was giving me motivation to really just try that and really do it. And at first I wanted to be his manager, but I was like, I really have to get it for myself. And I just listened to that voice in the back of my head to get it for myself first. So I kind of asked him, like, is music what I should do? Should I start making it, like rapping and doing artistry? And he was like full-fledged all for it. He said, even if you don't feel like you're the best at it, it's a good outlet and it's good therapy. Even if like it's just for you to do and listen to yourself. But luckily I listened to him, and I had that encouragement in my ear, and here we are today with the first EP out. I promise you, we got a lot of music coming. A ton. Just stacked away.
So big up Russ, big up Solomon.
Yep, for sure.
It's sounding like fashion has not left you. Do you plan on, kind of incorporating music and fashion, as so many rappers do?
Yeah, for sure. I got a big brand coming. I'm trying to do this. I don't want to say the name just yet until everything's finalized and no one can steal the ideas and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Good idea.
But for sure, like, fashion is definitely gonna play a huge part in the next 10 years of mine, and plus, I want to do almost like merch-like thing, but of course doing like one-offs and a lot of other like actual fashion brand things. I probably go by a different name, and when I do my merch, I do IS LOPE on there. But other than that, I really want my own brand to be its own thing and carry its own legs, and where, of course, I'd be the face of it, but I don't have to be the face of it. It won't even be by my name.
Now we see Drake always playing basketball. He got his home court. We see celebrity leagues in basketball. When can we expect a celebrity football league?
Oh yeah,
what's up with that?
For sure. I'm trying to run a flag football rapper tournament for sure. I feel like that would pop off a lot.
When you are making music, where does that inspiration come from? Like, what inspires you?
So, of course, like, when I hear people go dummy on tracks, or even just real good music that I like, it always very good encouragement to go in the studio and get to create. And it's just like, I don't know about how everybody else feels, but at least for me, I get really inspired when I hear like music I like. I get really like into where I'm like, yeah, I want to be on that same level. I want to drop something too. I want to go in the studio and feel, have that feeling that he was feeling. Like, damn, I just cranked one out. Like, like this is hard.
Can I get a pause?
Pause. But yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm someone that gets writer's block a lot. As much of a creative person as I am, I'm also not. And if, some people have that gift where they're just creatively open, and I'm sure you could work towards that and get so in tune with yourself when you get there. But at this point in time, I feel like it's a very relatable point for a lot of people, because it's not just on go, and I'm not just in the studio writing. It's a process. It's like I'm working with myself. And not only that, like when it comes to me writing or me doing music, I like to make sure it has a message and everything's very meticulous and thought out and planned of where it's going. at what I'm saying. So there'll be time that like, you know, I write something, I shouldn't delete it, but I just delete everything. I have to sit there, and I don't want to say treat it like homework, because it's definitely not homework. Like I wouldn't do the homework even if I had the answers, like, you know. But for sure, it's something.
Actual school, you're talking
yeah, actual school. Like, but it's something that like I'm willing to actually sit there and I feel challenged to do. And not only that, I'm usually more times than not happy with the product, even if it takes days to come by, or, you know, I feel like it's one of those things where you just really got to take your time, and it's all about where you are on your own journey and where that takes you. At one point, I may go in there and just be cranking things out 15 minutes, and it'd be hard, and it'd be my favorite music ever. But for right now, I'm at a point where it's still a little bit of work.
Would you call yourself your biggest critic?
I would by far. And not only that, I feel like I'm the only one that's allowed to critique myself. Now, I've listened to whatever. I know that sounds egotistical, and, you know, like, it is what it is, but I mean, I feel like that's how you should be. You should be your hardest critic, and you shouldn't let anybody else tell you to what you got going on. You know, you should be able to say that for yourself. Now, if you're not one of those people and you just have a hard time, then yeah, go ahead, get someone you trust to tell you not doing the right track, or, you know, it's just not it. But like, at least for me, I'm the only person that could really critique myself like that. And so yes, I am hard on myself.
Yeah. I did want to ask you, because you mentioned it earlier, what's the longest it's taken you to record one song?
The longest? Man, there's times I'll write like a chorus or a verse and then just leave it there. And a different part of my life or a different time in my life, if I don't feel like I'm in that zone or in that mode to record on that beat, I'll come back to it and I'll do it later. So there's been times where like a song has just sat there for months. I'm sure like every artist, you know, they just had it, you know, pieced together. But yeah, it just depends. I'd say one time, full session 1 and through, it's probably taking me the longest, probably like 7-8 hours. Get a good song come out.
You mentioned your uniqueness earlier. Damn, I cannot say that. Uniqueness. What do you feel sets you apart from other artists?
See, I feel like, for me personally, this was a very hard question to even ask myself. And when it comes with anything in business, you have to be unique and different. But for me, I have a very hard time to describe myself sometimes, I guess you could say. I know what I don't like, and I know what I like. You know, it's kind of hard sometimes to say what you do like, and what, at least for me, what I do like, and what I do think I'm good at, and what I do think like I got going on. Because, you know, you kind of have that bias in your eyes sometimes, and I'm very aware to that. But it's very hard for me to say and describe what I'm unique at, but very easy to show. You spend any time around me, you spend like literally, like you could see it, you could feel it on my aura, you could hear it in my music, you could hear it in anything I do, everything I do. Like, there's a certain like flavor to it that only I could do. There's a certain thing, like, you know, that only he could do. I know everybody says it, but like, I'm very different from majority of people, especially the way I think and my thought process and things.
Now, this is going the complete opposite way. Who do you feel like you are the most like in today? This is 2022. This is
most like as in artistry, music wise, or sorry, like who would I say I sound like, or like my music is most like?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I don't really sound. I mean, y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. Again, I have a hard time describing myself sometimes. Now, I don't think I have anybody else's sound. I feel like I have a really unique, distinct sound. But definitely who I draw influences from. You know, I could go through a number of names. I give you like 5 or so. But for sure, Drake, Russ,
that would have been my top.
Man, a lot of melodic hours. I like Skizzy Mars a lot. One of my favorite artists. Mike lately has been going off, man. The latest album, The High, is insane. If you don't know who Mike is, y'all need to go check him out for sure. And especially all those other people if you don't know who they are already, but you might not know who Skizzy Mars and Mike are. But other than that, like, you know, man, I'm a big rap fan. There's not many people I don't like. I feel like when it comes to rap, there's always a place for you if you have a unique sound and you're authentic. You know, you're unapologetically you. There's a lot of rappers I respect and a lot of people that like, you know, deserve the utmost respect. But then, you know, you got the clowns in the mix. And, you know, the music might sound nice or something, but you could tell the difference between, at least for me, I'm a big hip hop head and I'm really listening to what you're saying and how you're flowing. Like I'm not, you know, you can't just be saying anything all the time.
So you're saying 6ix9ine is not the greatest rapper alive? Is that what I'm hearing? What is your absolute dream collab?
Just one?
Just one.
Yo. That's crazy, man. I know it sounds cliche. I'm gonna have to give two though. It's either gonna be Drake or Russ, and I'm gonna explain why. Drake because, you know, Russ wasn't even out like that back then when I was young. I took a really good liking to Drake, not only because, you know, he was marketed as like, you know, blah, 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 but I really related with his story, like for real. Like I feel like I know at a young age, like I was more conscious than a lot of other people, and like, you know, I was a deep thinker and a lot of other things, but like I really like understood what he was saying. I felt like his story and the way everything was going in his time period, like it was the most relatable for me. I'm sure as a lot of y'all, which y'all's favorite artists. So Drake for sure. Off no weird shit, I would say he raised me. You know, I really took a lot of things that he said and took it to heart, and you know, I took a lot of things that he had that I liked, and you know, implemented it into me. But other than that, I would say Russ.
So
when it comes to Russ, I feel like he gave me the real good push that I needed, especially in that moment in time in my life where he was coming up, and I've been a huge fan for a long time. But like I feel like he really changed my thought process of going about things, and he really helped me with many things that many people don't. He's put me on many great books that have changed like my outlook on life, and just like put me on really great artists. But by far, I say he changed my thought process a lot. So for that, I would say he would be my other dream collab. So either one of those two, I'm probably geek.
Obviously at the time of making this, we are not at our peak, but the both of us, you know what I mean? So that being said, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I can't ever say where we'll actually end up. I can tell you a target for sure, but no one ever knows what life is gonna do. Like,
Just like milestones and goals, you know?
Wow, but for sure, I would say like, man, I really don't I don't ask for a lot. Now, of course, I'll try to achieve the best, highest peak of myself. I don't really ask for a lot though. I just want to be happy and feel like I've reached my version of success, which would be like a healthy lifestyle. I'm eating right. I'm doing everything I want to do. I'm able to buy whatever I need to buy for me and my family. I'm able to take care of everybody. I'm able to change people's lives the same way mine has been changed through this artistry, and just like really help the world the best way I can, as much as trying to be the best version of myself while doing it.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. That was way more than the wholesome answer I was expecting. Yo, it made me tear up back here, bro. I'm so serious, dude. I was expecting like, man, platinum plaques on platinum plaques, dude. Oh my god, bro.
Nah.
That was a good. Nah, that was a great answer, bro. I don't even have a follow up to that, bro. Little underage drinking going on. 20 at the time of this recording. Let's go.
22.
Damn. You said you how old?
Oh, you need about the balloon? Yeah, birthday was not too long ago.
I'm throwing this one.
Go ahead. I can't.
Oh, look at that. Hey, football league coming soon. You see that sketch?
You know what I'm saying? Hold up. You know what I'm saying? Got the 22.
Bounce to ask for your ID, that's what you pulling out?
Shout out Snoop Dogg for the rose. He sent it personally. No, I'm capping.
Soon.
Alright. Don't sue me, Snoop. I'm broke. Don't sue me, bro. I'm broke.
I don't think he would, bro. I really feel like I feel like that's
Listen. Don't sue me. Send me a case.
Can you hold up 8 for me, bro? Nobody really reps Dallas How do you plan on changing that?
Rep Dallas as in how?
Like
Music wise?
for example, you know where Drake is from.
Toronto.
You know where Jack Harlow's from. You know where Snoop Dogg is from.
Okay. Cause say like Dallas probably needs some, let's just say artistry, not even music, but just like real artistic. There's a lot of real artistic talents here, bro. Like so many that go so far over the shoulder and overseen. Oh yeah, I've already
Talking about over your shoulder.
Yeah, over my shoulder. Shout out to my boy Q, Dr. Alex again. You know, man's out here doing art, crazy with the pencil.
Do we have anything else in here?
At the end of the day, I'm hoping that I can bring a lot of eyes to Dallas and see what we have to offer. I don't know if like this is, you know, I'm gonna take it on like Drake, but for sure I'm trying to see everybody eat, as many people as can. So if you in Dallas and I pop off and this goes the way it's supposed to, don't mess up your shot.
No, it does already seem like, you know, just in this video alone, twice you didn't shout it out Quest, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
It seemed like you're already on the right track, bro, to be honest with you. What is your favorite part about making music, the actual process of it all?
The favorite part is always, at least for me, my favorite part, which is weird. I understand some people, you know, you're supposed to enjoy the journey and stuff. But at least for me, my favorite part is when it's done, I have the finished product, and I could just jam it over and over and over and over again. Now, at least to me, which as it should be if you do anything, my latest song, my latest whatever is always my favorite. I really like the content I make. I really do. And so, yeah, I'm just consuming it like crazy. Like I was the consumer. So yeah, my favorite part is always when I could just play it over and over again. When it's done, I feel like it's finished.
So you are your #1 critic and your #1 fan.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
As someone who knows you, I can see that you have a serious hustle about yourself. Where the hell does that come from?
Man, I couldn't. It'd be hard to just pinpoint where it comes. It's funny because honestly, I can say for myself, I'm pretty lazy a lot of the time. Actually, now maybe from the outside it don't look like that, but again, I'm a harsh critic. I'm looking at what the 1% is doing, and I'm like, I'm not cutting it shut. But yeah, I feel like, what was the question again?
Just where does your work ethic come from? Because you're always, every time I see you, you're working on something. You know
I feel you, yeah, for sure. I feel like it just comes from how I was raised and what I saw going on around in my household. I grew up poor, if that's what you want to say. So like I didn't have a lot of things, and I missed out on a lot of things, and I got to see a lot of, especially where I grew up, I got to see a lot of people do things while I was the one missing out or whatever. I never wanted to be that person, and luckily a lot of times, like the way the world works, I got to experience a lot of things, you know, but at the same time, like I had to work for those and I had to make those happen. And not even that, like people had to make those happen. And I always just know if you don't do anything, nothing happens. You know, when you stop, the world, like, you know, not that the world does, but everything around you does too.
Your EBT card used to get declined? Or?
Man, I can tell you how many times we've been in line and they say, your card's declined.
Are you serious?
The card's declined.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I was joking around, bro.
Nah, for real, bro, for real. Oh, yeah, my mom was, you know, at some points, life gets tough for some people, you know. I'm sure a lot of people, that's probably the same thing they're going through, that, like, you know, how I grew up, a lot of people go through that. And it'd be relatable to a lot of people. But if you didn't, just be grateful that you didn't have to deal with none of that. It's very embarrassing. You know, it's not the funnest thing ever. But you know, you do what you have to do to survive and to keep living. So. Is
that why I see you on the corner of 5th and 3rd in a bikini sometimes? Oh. So you mentioned the newest one is always your favorite. Now at the time of this recording, you just dropped an EP. You have a few songs, a few singles. Other than that, what is your favorite song right now?
Off the EP?
Yeah, out of everything you drop.
Yeah, okay, see, so look, I've been making music for about 2 years now, and I'm always making music consistently. Now, at first it wasn't consistent, it was like month-to-month basis, I might make a song here and there, or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But for the past year, I've made almost a song every week, if not more than that, like, you know, I'm always like creating. But it's hard. I'd say probably my favorite song is something y'all haven't even heard yet. But I'm gonna go ahead and do one that's out now. And I feel like either Belly of the Beast, which is really different. It might not be like the hardest song, but I feel like that's one of my favorite songs. And then I really like In Bed, that it's on the EP. I could say like fan favorites are like either You and I or Patience right now. But for sure my favorite.
Hectic.
Oh yeah, Hectic's a good masterpiece too. Don't sleep.
When is this coming out? This is gonna come out to like a little bit, right? Is that song that you're talking about, that's your favorite, is that gonna be out before this?
Nah, it'll probably be out after this. So I'm trying to like, you know, all summer. So we're sitting on May 10th now? May 9th. By the end of the summer, I should have a ton of music up.
Like I said, every time I see him, he's working on something.
I'm trying to get back to dropping a song a week. Might start this week, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know yet. I might let the EP ride a little bit, but you know, I got a long way to go. I'm trying to get as much content out.
Now, I mean, going off of that, you see some artists. For example, right now, Olivia Rodrigo has dropped her album, and like,
she dropped a new one?
No, same one, Sour, right? Mm-hmm. I have not heard nothing from her. It sounds like you don't plan on doing that. It sounds like when you give the people a taste of music, you're gonna keep it coming.
So look, I pay attention to a lot of stuff in the music industry. I won't say I'm a guru and I know everything. But yeah, that tends to like good music, especially that type of music. When you make pop music and like other soulful music, it tends to last longer and it tends to withstand time. Rap music is a lot of fast-paced, in the moment type. That's why you see a lot of rap artists have to crank out albums in a year worth, and why the people, you know, on different levels and different genres can drop maybe an album every 2 years, every 3 years, and everybody's listening, you know, because it just depends on what type of artist you are and who you make music for, and all those different types of things. But you know, at the end of the day, like, timeless music is gonna last, and you know, that's why some people just drop that in labels. You know, labels understand that, and so they only drop a few songs a year. So, especially with rappers and other people, you know, they might make 100 songs that year, but only 20 are coming out. You know, I hate to do that. I feel like it's a lot of wasted time if you don't let everybody listen to it. I don't know exactly what I'll do in the future. You know, I also want to have something that, like, you know, I don't want to be that person that's just always dropping 6s and 7s, you know. But I might make a little private for my real Lope fans, the real day ones, and the real people, to where they can listen to everything I make, you know, even if it's like maybe unfinished or something, you know. You know, have a really unique connection with them.
You mentioned your love of like different genres of music, especially opera. Do you plan on venturing out into, like, you know, doing what Lil Nas does and doing just like Drake?
No. I feel like I come out, especially as you can hear it in the next year or so. I have a real, like, I just have a sound to my voice where it could go almost on a lot of things. I'll make music to all types of beats. Eventually, I do want to dibble dabble in pop, if that's what you want to call it. You know, it could just reach a lot of different people, and there's always a peak that you hit in rap, where it's like people just, you know, you reach to people and you're trying to hear that all over the world, you know. So of course I always stick to like main, like, you know, rap, alternative rap, hip hop type deal. But yeah, I do want to venture out and, like, you know, I got a punk rock sound that I really like too. I'm big into punk rock. Not like huge, but big. But other than that, like, yeah, I plan on dibble-dabbling in a lot. You might see me rapping Spanish one of these times, you know what I'm saying?
So, in some of your songs, you speak a lot about financials. It's in a very responsible way, not how we can sometimes hear about in other songs. What do you plan on doing with your first million?
Whew. You see, it's always easy to say what you would do. But when you get in the moment, it's always a different story. So, first million, as in the first full million I have like in my bank account, or first million I make.
I mean, they say you get a check.
They're different. They're different
because
it's always about the money you keep.
Yeah.
The money you get, if you get it and it's spent and you no longer have it, you no longer have capital. You have nothing to play with in this. At least in the U.S., you ain't got nothing to play with, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm talking about someone hands you $1 million check for something you're doing. What is it? What is that going towards?
You see, you always gotta stay with the times, and a lot of things are switching. I probably look for individuals that I really believe in that maybe are in the same position that I am, where like they have a really good idea or they're really working towards something, but they don't have the capital, or they just don't have the financials to get the exposure or get the materials that they need. I would first probably look for those people and try to change, you get a part of that and try to help them change their lives, and not only probably affect other people's lives. Those would probably be like what I would go for first, but like of course like real estate, you can never really go wrong. You can never go wrong in like stocks if you know what you're doing. And not only that, I know the type of doors that money can open for you. Especially just, I don't agree with it, but it is what it is, man. Like, don't shoot the messenger, shoot the maker. But as long as I gotta live in this, I know the doors that money can open, and there's a lot of different people that you could meet and work with to help you grow your financials, even if you might not be the smartest person.
Now in your songs, I'll go back to Hectic. Don't check me. You gotta check your credit. Now in that, you're not talking about blowing money, this or that. Do you plan on keeping the responsible financial decisions a part of your music? Because I personally like it.
Yeah, for sure. So look, I don't want it to come off a little bit misleading or any of that. Now, financials is a big part of my life and a big part of like growing up in my worries. So I may not be at the number one financial spot of everybody or any of these things, but I do study a lot, and I will always encourage people to do the right thing. Now, whether I always take the right choice and go with the investment first, or go with this, that, and the third first, I feel like it's a little bit in life. You got to take it as a balance, as long with everything, which is another like big message I'm trying to push, is like balance. Everything needs to be balanced in your life, but like it's a fine line between saving for years on to come and living life in the moment, because I would hate to be that person with millions on millions in my bank account but never has any time to spend it and really like be happy or any of that. And like so I always like find a good line between like spending and saving. I think like for you could only, it's a personal thing. You have to know what you're okay with having and what you're not okay with having. And if you're one of those people that just has to look in your bank account and see everything, and know that you're good for like as long as eternity, then I'll for it. Like, go do it. But I know there's some people that can find like, I don't want to say complacency, but happiness in knowing that, they're in the position that they're in, and that they were just in a shittier position a while back, and this is not necessarily good enough for them, but they feel grateful at this moment. I think that's, you always got to be grateful at whatever position you are in your journey. And so again, I do plan on pushing finances, and my big problem right now is I'm having trouble earning more. That's another big thing. I got told by a few mentors of mine that the problem is not what you're saving, the problem is what you're earning. You gotta find ways to earn more. It's not that you're not making it, like you don't have enough, it's you're not making enough. You should be able to have. Nah, I understand. I'm not trying to break that. Just move. Yeah, move on.
Okay.
I'll cut it there, bro. I'll cut it somewhere else. I'm not trying to get down there.
No, it's all good. It's all good. what do you want your first big purchase to be? Like, what's that dream purchase? You know, some people it's a Lamborghini, some people it's a mansion, some people it's a team, for example.
First big purchase. That's very, very hard because it just depends where I'm at in life and what I got going on when I do make that purchase. But man, that's a tough question. I know I would feel happy about a lot of big purchases, but what really would mean the most to me, I would have to say probably purchasing like a mansion or something where like it's good for all my people. With like how down bad you were, or like none of that, like you thought life was going some type of way, and then like life could get crazy sometimes within whatever amount of time. Honestly, it don't matter. It'd be one day, life switch. So I just like, as long as I can have a place where like people can have a roof over their head that like at least I'm really in tune with and I care about. I feel like that first big purchase would be like the team mansion or whatever you want to call it. I feel like that. I feel really good about that.
Right. Another wholesome answer. Damn. I don't know how I'm holding these tears back, man. What do you like to do that's outside of music?
Okay, of course I like to get active. I like to skateboard. I like to play football. I like to, and I want to say party, but I like to be with my crew. I like to, drink, smoke, do all them good stuff. I'm really into
vices, the sins.
But yeah, I like to talk around and sit and talk about ideas and things that people have, and I'm very philosophical. I love to talk about anything to do with like life lessons and life in general. So yeah, I don't really have much time to do a lot of things. I mainly stick to the core, but I would do a lot. Trust me, if I had the time and resources too.
How do you feel like your relationship influences your music? Because obviously a lot of music is about love. You know what I mean?
Yeah. First off, I've always been a little lover boy. I've had the bottom of my heart. I don't want to say I'm a simp, but I do sometimes have some tendencies. You know what I'm saying? I love hard, man. I love hard when I do love. It's very hard. Like I'm not the type of person to just say yeah I love you like to anybody. I really have to mean it. I really I probably won't say it if I don't mean it. It's one of those things. I don't like lying. I'm not saying I won't, but
shit.
You know what I'm saying? I really don't though. For real, I try not to unless if it's like to protect one of my brothers or like somebody. Like not even in one of those weird ways, but like I feel like it's really changed. It's really like I feel like I would be more wild of an artist if I wasn't in a relationship and I didn't have to care about how what I may say affects somebody else, especially like someone close to me. Now I still don't let that stop me all the way. I'm still gonna be 100% myself, and whatever I want to do, I'm gonna do. But I do take into consideration a lot of time, like what I'm talking about, and making sure that I'm pushing at least a decent message. Not everything in this life is just great and all sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes there's dark stuff in this life, and especially in my life, I've experienced some things. So like I want to talk about those things. I don't want to shy away. I want it to be raw and explicit and uncut and real.
So do you feel like it can help, being in a relationship can help mature your music?
At least for me, I can't speak for everybody. At least for me, I feel like it's just more like, I live a different life than a lot of people, a lot of people in the rap industry and the rap career. But yeah, I won't necessarily mature, but at least for me, it's helped me stay away from like being not a whore, but I want to say like music wise, I want to say it's a different perspective. It's giving me a different perspective from most people. It's a good little change. Now, I'm not blaming nobody out here. They gotta do what they gotta do. You live your life how you want to live your life. Totally respect whatever. Just be real. Just be real about what you're doing.
Different mode, it overtook me. I got my hoodie on, but been a boogie. You talking loud with nothing to show, do you want a cookie? I'm skipping out to work on music, guess I'm playing hooky. 5-0 on my ass, I ain't do shit, they wanna book me. Came in with the average Joes, but I sound like I do this. Potential shows, he ain't for pros, but most of y'all are clueless. This shit not easy, crunch the numbers, the odds like 1 to 9.